Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Monday, March 28th. This is your daily Buckeye fix. I'm Tom Moore. The spring game is in 19 days, the Notre Dame game in 159 days, the game against Michigan in 243 days. The Ohio State football team will be back in the practice field Tuesday for practice number 6 of the spring. Last week, the defensive line was one of the big stories, as one of the most talented recruiting classes in program history enters its second year in the program. Today, you're going to be hearing from those four guys, Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, Tylek Williams, and Michael Hall. Each of them got on the field some last fall, but with a full offseason and now season under their belts, they could all be headed for much bigger things this fall. As always, these clips are courtesy of the Ohio State University Athletics Department. We're going to start with Tuimoloau. On yesterday's show, you heard Ryan Day talking about how incredible it was that Tuimoloau was able to do everything he did last season after arriving so close to the start of fall camp. So JT was asked how different things felt this year. You'll hear his answer on that, and then you're going to hear a follow-up from Bill Rabinowitz of the Columbus Dispatch.
Very different body-wise, I came in, still had, I got some work in with Coach Mick, but I think this whole offseason I felt like a big difference of just, how my body felt, and, I felt stronger and much faster.
How do you think you did last year, considering that you had to jump like that?
Last year, I felt like I had a pretty good, decent season. Still learning a lot, and still meeting with Coach Jay countlessly to, learn from last year and, edge up my technique and, just get better from there.
So after arriving so late last year, how did Tuimoloau get acclimated to the college game so quickly? He was playing significant minutes in a game less than a month after his first college practice. How did that happen?
From the play standpoint, I was just taught from a young age. From my grandpa and my dad. I always tell the story that I go to regular high school games, and I think I'm just there to watch and have fun and watch football. When my grandpa pulls me to the side and quizzes me on every defense a team runs and tells me like the reason they're running it. So coming here, putting in the extra work with Coach Jay and the defensive staff and learning from the older guys too. They played a big part as well, and those aspects of my life and those role models to me just helped me get acclimated quickly.
I am probably not telling you anything you didn't already know, but last season's defense was not up to the standard that is expected around Ohio State. That's why almost the entire defensive coaching staff from last year is now coaching somewhere else. The new staff showed the players a video about the Silver Bullets and the history of the Ohio State defense to show them what the expectation really is. So, what were Tuimoloau's impressions of that? And then and you're going to hear a follow-up from our buddy Marcus Hartman of the Dayton Daily News.
It's history. It's history. It's what started here. It's what started this whole thing. And, to be reminded of those responsibilities and what it takes to be a silver bullet, it just makes us remember, like, man, this is bigger than just us. There's a whole history behind it, and there's a reason why Ohio State defense is the way they've been playing, and I think we're just holding ourselves accountable to those standards.
Is there anything that stuck out to you about that? It was probably pretty new for you, not being someone who maybe grew up following Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. About silver bullets.
Just from the video.
Oh yeah, I got chills watching it and watching it, see all the players talk about what it means, and for a young player like myself, just to see how much it meant, and it's a real brotherhood. Silver bullets where it carries more than it carries off the field as well. Like it's something you wear on your back with pride.
Another first-year defensive lineman who got on the field early and flashed at times last year was Tylek Williams. He showcased a ton of potential, but struggled with his weight, and that kept him from potentially doing even more. So you're going to hear him discussing that a little bit, and then you're going to hear a few follow-up questions from Stephen Means of Cleveland.com.
So when I first got here, I was like 360. I was supposed to be around 320, but COVID got the best of me. But throughout the year, our nutritionist, got my weight down, slimmed down, got quicker, and throughout the season, I just started learning how to play football, basically. Because I didn't play my junior year, and then COVID canceled our season, and then I got here, I got a little bit of time.
Where do you at right
now?
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Where are you at right now?
I'm at 317, 320, and varies.
You said you didn't play your junior year either?
I played, but it got canceled.
Okay. He was talking about how you've shown standing it and doing it consistently. Is that a fatigue thing, or is that just you still trying to adjust to college football?
Last year was fatigue because I was out of shape because I didn't play for a year. But now it's just like staying in shape. I'm in shape right now. I can go way longer than last year. Last year, like 2 plays, I'll be tired. Now I can go like a couple more plays.
One of the most remarkable things that we heard from Ryan Day last week was that Tylek Williams, yes, defensive tackle Tylek Williams, is one of the fastest guys on the team from 0 to 10 yards. How is that even possible? Here's Williams' answer on that.
I think I have pretty good speed for my size. I think I like 1.65 in the 10 or something like that. That's pretty good. I think I got a good first step. That's what like allows me to be so fast and quick.
So in his last 2 answers, we've heard about his quickness and we've heard about stamina. But what does Williams think is the most important trait for a defensive lineman to have?
You got to be tough, definitely. If you're not tough, you're going to get moved around. You got to be mentally tough. People going to talk in your ear,
Yeah.
Other offensive linemen, talking about your mom, anything. You got to be tough. Like B-blocks, you got to be tough. You got to be able to hold yourself and just tough.
Off the field, Williams is a sort of self-described goofball. He has a very fun personality, likes to joke around. So how do you go from that to the toughness we just heard about? Being the tough, take-no-crap kind of person you need to be to survive on the interior of a defensive line at the Big Ten level.
I think when you put the helmet on, it's just a whole different person. Like, out here, I'm just cool. Just myself, goofy. On the field, you got to be like locked in. You got to bring that that side out of you, You can't like let someone expose you.
Of the 4 spectacular freshmen that the Buckeyes brought in last year, Michael Hall was kind of the forgotten man in that 4-man class. A lot of that may have had to do with when he showed up. Hall was not in for the spring, which meant he was a little behind when he got to campus in the summer. So what did he get out of that first year? You're going to hear his answer, and then you're going to hear a couple of follow-ups from Nathan Barrett of Cleveland.com.
I definitely improved. Just I want to say taking a back seat, but just sitting down and just watching those guys play and learning how to practice with Coach Johnson, just learning different stuff and seeing like how college football is being played. I feel like it showed me like how to practice and how to be a good player, a great player.
Was there any kind of a wake-up call for you? I mean, you came in obviously very highly ranked. You probably had high expectations, and then to make the adjustment to college, was it different than you expected?
Yeah, it was different because just everything in college is just time. It's quick and time is everything, so you can't really be lousing around. So it took me a while to get accustomed to it, but definitely now I feel like I'm making great progress.
What was the hardest adjustment on the field going up against college offensive linemen, especially the guys that this program had last year?
Yeah, getting used to going against guys like Paris Johnson and DeJuan Jones, it took me a while to get accustomed to it, but I feel like after a while I started to, be better.
Hall is an interior defensive lineman, that's for sure. You're not going to see him with the safeties this year, but which position specifically on the interior of that defensive line is he going to play? Is he a nose? Is he a 3-tech? Here was his answer on that, and then you're going to hear Nathan ask a couple more follow-ups.
I'm playing at nose guard right now. Last year I was a 3-tech, but this year I'm starting to get more reps at nose guard.
Why do you think that makes sense for you?
Really, it was just talking to Coach Johnson, just seeing where I'll fit more on the defense, and he was just saying, just try out nose guard and see how you feel.
Was there anything about last year's 3-tech experience that is helping you now, or is it a big adjustment to go from one to the other?
Nah, I don't feel it's a big adjustment. I mean, anywhere on the line, I'm needed. I'll play it. I do whatever the team needs. I'm here.
Finally, the 4th of those defensive linemen you're going to hear from today is Jack Sawyer. He was one of the breakout stars of last spring, finishing with a dominating performance in the spring game. This year, with another year of experience under his belt, he's seemingly ready to take on a bigger role with the defense. Sawyer's name has come up a bunch in connection with the Leo role. That, of course, is the weak side defensive end and new defensive coordinator Jim Knowles' scheme. It's a spot position that sometimes moves around the field, can line up, for example, right behind the nose tackle or in other spots. It's kind of the signature position on the defense in some ways, and thus has been a big topic of conversation. But so far, they haven't really gotten to it during practice. They're really focusing more on the traditional 4-down looks that Ohio State has run in the past. But Sawyer has watched enough film of Knowles' Oklahoma State defenses to know what to expect if he gets to be the Leo.
I mean, just watching it on film, it seems like a pretty cool position, because obviously, we haven't talked much about implementing our defense yet. But, yeah, I mean, it looks like, it's a cool position. Oklahoma State had a pretty good guy playing it. He was a pretty good player, pretty athletic guy. So, It's an intriguing position, but then again, we still haven't really, put much into it yet.
What have those early conversations with Jim Knowles been like since he is new to Ohio State and the ACC? What impressions do you have?
Oh, he definitely seems like a really smart guy. He definitely knows his football, and we all really respect him. And he wants us to play real fast and not be out there thinking this year. And I feel like that fits the guys we have. We got a bunch of real athletic, real physical guys that just want to play ball and not be out there thinking and just react. And so I think that's kind of what he's been trying to instill in us.
There were some massive, and let's just be honest, maybe a little bit unfair expectations for Sawyer after his spring game performance a year ago. He ended up seeing the field a little less than his fellow freshman defensive end JT Tuimoloau, but still finished with 13 tackles and 3 sacks, pretty much right in line with a lot of the freshman seasons from other defensive ends who went on to big things at Ohio State. So, what was the biggest thing that he learned last fall? You're going to hear his answer on that, and then you're going to hear a follow-up from Austin Ward of Letterman Row.
The most important thing I learned the first year is probably just stay consistent. Kind of the first year kind of goes like this a lot, but then once you find it, it clicks. I think for me, it kind of clicked halfway through the season. I kind of, that's when I really turned it on. I just felt it, and just bringing it every day too, because it kind of wears on you. It's a grind. It's a longer season I've ever had in my life playing football, and just every day, you're here for at least 4 hours, doing stuff, and it was kind of a lot for a lot of us younger guys at first, but. Once you find a routine, though, you got to stick with it, and I think that can help everybody.
Those ups and downs, it seemed like when you left spring, there was so much excitement in spring game performance and all that. I don't know if you thought this was going to be easy for him.
Yeah.
It's going to go straight up.
Yeah, I didn't really think that, because, I don't know how to say it. It's a lot different, going against, the competition we were going against.
Right.
And, I was just trying to improve. I kind of try to block that noise out as much as possible, and I just focus on getting better. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy like that, but I just try to keep getting better and try to keep improving. And I think once I kind of got through that first little shaky part earlier in the year, that I really took off after that.
You've probably heard a lot of people talking this spring about how Jim Knowles, the new defensive coordinator, is such a great teacher. So what is it about Knowles that's different from some of the other coaches that maybe Ohio State players have been with in the past? What makes Knowles really different as a coach and as a teacher? Here's Sawyer's answer on that.
I learned from him that, he's really big into if we're not doing it right and if we keep messing up over and over again, it's probably not our fault, it's probably his. And that's kind of a different thing, A lot of coaches, they'll drill into you that if you're not doing something right, it's probably your fault. But he said, if we're not learning it the right way, he might not be teaching it the right way. And so it's kind of just different things that Jim Knowles does that's really unorthodox kind of. And we all really love that here too. So. Just the way he teaches things and the way he goes about his work is, very unique, but also, very, very good.
All right, that will do it for today. We have 5 practices in the books now for the Ohio State team this spring. We're a third of the way through the spring. We'll have 10 more leading up to that spring game on April 16th, so we should have plenty more to talk about this week. There'll be another couple practices, some more interviews. We'll have new Ryan Day and Jim Knowles and Kevin Wilson interviews coming up on Tuesday, so should be plenty to talk about this week. Can't wait to get started. So thank you guys all for joining us today. We'll be back with another episode, of course, tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.